What's up, everybody? We'll see how this works. I don't have my normal camera setup and stuff, so I'm actually sitting here right now on a ship. I'm on the Grandeur of the Seas in between Puerto Rico, about halfway down to Aruba, and then going to Curacao or to Bonaire, then over to Curacao, and then back home. So anyway, bought a couple watches while I was on the ship. Got my wife, she got a emerald and diamond ring. It's like a 1.5 carat emerald and some diamonds and stuff. I got her, and then got her a Tissot PRX 35 mil with the green dial. It's emerald green. It looks awesome. Goes together. And then I decided to treat yourself. Only yo being me, so I treated myself to 2 watches. So first video here is going to be the cheap one. It's a nice watch, but it's not that expensive. What do we get? We got a Citizen, and the model number is called the Peyton. So let's see if I can get a little close up there. It's an eco drive. It's got a navy blue dial. Hopefully the light is catching that. Don't know if it is. Again, I'm in my cabin here, so lighting and using my MacBook as the camera instead of my normal video setup. And it was a nice watch. Picked it up for well under $400. No sales tax. Didn't really save much money on it. I could have gotten it for like $20 cheaper, $25 cheaper at home off of Amazon, but then I would have paid more money in shipping and sales tax. So here on the ship in international waters, you don't pay either. So what is it? It's a chronograph, 100-meter water resistance, not a screw-down crown. So this is more of a sport watch. It's not a dive watch. It's nothing you would want to really go deep in, but certainly taking a shower, jumping in the pool, basic stuff like that, it's going to be fine. Take my Longines Hydra Conquest, which is what I brought. I brought that, and then I brought to wear into town so you don't get mugged if you're, in a place that you probably shouldn't be. But then also I brought my beater watch. I brought my $99 10-year battery Casio G-Shock. So I can wear this in the ocean, or if we go on a hike, or we do jet skis or something. I don't have to worry about smashing up or ruining or any kind of damage on my good watch. So this thing is 100-meter water resistance. I believe this is a 43 mil. It's 42 or 43. Normally I'd have multiple screens up over here where you can't see, where I'd have all the specs and stuff. So these could be more unboxings, less about specs. I will put a link in the video so you can go look at it. It's got a nice bracelet. They seem to be solid links. They do not appear to be folded. No micro adjust, so there is that. I went back and forth with the girl at the watch store. Her name is Suno from India. Very nice person. She's been awesome. She sees me coming and smiles. She's like, he's gonna buy something else from me, and I almost always have. So what it is your sport watch, kind of going back to that vintage 70s look. I did have to take out 3 links. It's a little tiny bit loose, so when I get home I may take out another half. But once it kind of warms up to your skin, your skin, when you have metal against it, builds up a little bit of humidity. It kind of then sort of sticks in place. So it's just a tiny bit loose, but not flopping around. It isn't sliding forward over the ball, over these joints to where then it kind of jams up on your hand. It kind of does stay in place unless you're physically slapping your wrist around, and then you'll hear a little bit of wiggling. Like I said, we've got a combination. It is solid links. It's kind of looks sort of more like an integrated bracelet. It's how it fits on my wrist. It's weird doing it this angle. I'm not used to doing videos. I'm not sure how well these are going to... But my wife is down learning to line dance and some other shit that I have no interest in whatsoever in doing. So I'm like, I'm going to use my time here and make some quick unboxing videos. Stay tuned for the other one, because I bought my first $4,200. Well, that was what I paid. It's normally $4,700. I bought my first almost $5,000 watch. So I wanted to treat myself to something nice to commemorate the cruise, and just something different. And I was going to go and look at togs and some other stuff. We'll get into that video in a little bit. My ADD is kicking in. I had bad seasickness last night, and I managed to get one of those patch things from another passenger. Works. Makes it a little loopy. So I might be showing in my video here. Sorry, I'm not drunk. Today I actually didn't drink alcohol because of that. Side effects when you drink alcohol, or if you take it with some other stuff it interacts with, you get feelings of paranoia, like you're being oppressed and persecuted and everyone's out to get you and stuff. And I'm like, I don't need that. So, beautiful watch. It is quartz. However, it is eco drive. I love Eco Drive. I love G-Shock Tough Solar. I do appreciate a nice automatic movement, but it is really nice having a watch that you just set it and forget it. You got your date down there at the 3:30. You've got, let's see, your complication up here is your AM, PM, right there. You've got your seconds clicking by, and over there you got your minutes, and you do have a chronograph feature. Click it, starts counting, stop, and then reset. Don't know the movement. I don't have all the specs on the depth. Looks about 12 millimeters to me. Pretty damn close, somewhere in 11, 12. So not overly thick. It's a little bit chunky, but it's not as big as the 44 mil Hydro Conquest. You can see there's a noticeable difference in the size between them. This thing is a little bit thicker or wider, although it is a tiny bit thinner. The Hydro Conquest, when you get the quartz version, is actually very thin. For a big watch, this thing sits on your wrist pretty nice. Now, unlike the Longines that has the milled clasp, this is stamped, but it actually is fine. If I was going to critique this for one thing, it would be it looks like a butterfly clasp, which looks nice. You don't have this giant buckle and clasp and thing. It does make it look a bit fancier and more dressy. However, when you do that, you lose your micro adjusts because they wanted it to look like that. And when you center the curved spot so that it's opposite of this, you don't want this curved piece, the clasp, to be over here. It makes the watch sit kind of canted on your wrist, but then this doesn't line up in the center anymore. Now, if that's something that bothers you, you can center it to where it lays on your wrist the way that it should, and it's perfectly comfortable, but you'll notice this is now off center. I don't mind it because when you turn your wrist over this way and you're looking at it, it's right there facing you. If I'm going to be OCD about it, I can say, that's up about 0.5 centimeter from center. But honestly, it doesn't bother me. It's right there. It's easy on and off. The watch is got some weight to it because these are solid links. They are push pin style. What else is there to say? It's a Citizen. Citizen makes great value watches. I love the Eco Drive. I love the blue dial. It's very clean. You got your chronograph features. It's 100-meter water resistance, so it's good enough for what most people are going to do. If you're going to go diving, or you're going to go snorkeling, or you're going to, any kind of more intense water stuff, well, grab your G-Shock. Grab your Tudor, your Rolex, or a Longines that's got a 300-meter water resistance. Grab something that's a little more robust in that department. I think this is beautiful. The finishing on it is great. The polishing is great. They just did a really good job. Does the crown have anything on it? No logo on the crown. Trying to hold it steady for people that have criticized me. Hold the thing steady so I can see it. I mean, you can go look at a picture of it and see it, I guess, but I will try to be nice and accommodate. I'm getting a little bit of glare here. Maybe if I move it like that. It looks black at some angles, but it's actually blue. When the sun hits it, boom, it pops. And that's all you got to do to charge it once in a while. Leave it where there's a light source. These lithium-ion cells, they say, can last 15, 20 years, just like a G-Shock. So maybe after 20 years, I got to put another cell in it. I don't know. Some people have said that they've had a watch with a solar cell go even longer. So not a big deal. Don't have to get it serviced all the time because you're never really getting dirt in there. You're not cracking it open, other than to change that battery, which is going to happen like every 2 decades. So very nice. I do like the bracelet. I think the bracelet is very pretty. I like the combination of the polished alternating with the brushed, and then the same thing on the rest of the watch. So very cool watch. You can pick these up on Amazon. I think even now on their website, it's like $346. So let's just say $350. It's a $350 Japanese solar-powered chronograph with a date. What's not to like, right? I think it's beautiful. I think on my wrist, I look down at that, even though that is the cheaper watch, like less than a tenth, kind of like 1/14 of what I paid for this other brand, which is a Cuban brand. And I'm going to guess most of my viewers won't recognize the brand. My coworker Johnny immediately, I'm like, this guy doesn't know anything about watches. And he was like, oh, is that the Churchill GMT? I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? But he does. Johnny surprises you every once in a while. There's things you're like, how can you not know that? And then there's things that you're like, I can't believe you knew that. That's why we love Johnny. He's good people. He'll surprise you sometimes. So stay tuned for that. But this is the Peyton. It's right there in that lower mid-range Seiko price, Citizen price, lower end of Tissot. It's just a great watch. It feels good. It looks good. When you look at it at a glance, and I'll tell you, I'll wrap this up with why I bought this one. I wanted a PRX for myself from Tissot. My wife's wearing hers, so I can't show it to you. The problem is it's a 40. It's too small for me. Now, they make a 42, but the 42 is, you have to get the chronograph, which I'm fine with, but it only comes in an automatic. And that's a watch that retails for around $1,800. So I just hadn't gotten around to getting one. If I'm going to spend a lot of money on a watch, like I did on this other one that's coming up, I want it to be something off the beaten path. And that's why I got this other one instead of getting a TOG. Everyone's got a TOG Carrera or, an Aqua Racer or an Omega. I was like, let me get something that's special that's a conversation starter. I know I keep going down that rabbit hole and I need to just save it for the video. But something like this, this looks a lot like the PRX. It's very PRX-ish. They're going for that same new retro 70s sport integrated bracelet style. And I think there are enough differences with it between the PRX. They're not copying off of each other. They're just both paying homage to the past and using popular designs from that era. But it's like that. But instead of $1,800 for the Tissot, I get a solar-powered quartz for $350. And I was like, I will save the money and get that. And then the money I save put towards getting myself my first actual legit luxury watch. Longines is a luxury brand. They're a legit luxury brand. They may not be Rolex, but, at $1,100, it doesn't qualify as a luxury watch in and of itself. That is very affordable. That's the price of a new iPhone, which most of you watches going, $1,100 for a watch. Oh, you're downplaying. You're making it sound like it's cheap. For a quality Swiss watch, $1,100 is cheap. Considering you're going to buy an iPhone every 1, 2, 3 years, and then you're going to throw it in the trash and go buy another $1,100 iPhone if you get the Pro Max series or whatever. You're spending that every few years on phones that are just disposable. As opposed to this, which you take care of it. This could be something you hand down to your kids, your grandkids. This watch could last you 30, 40, 50 years if you don't smash it up. So there's nothing wrong. To me, $1,100 for a quality watch is cheap. Not try to be insensitive to people like, well, I can only spend $250 and you make it sound like, coming off as elitist. I'm not. I'm just saying in the world of quality watches, when you think about what you spend on PlayStations that last you a few years, appliances that you use for a few years, smartphones and smartwatches that you use for a couple years and then throw them out, it is cheap. Changed my mind. So there you have it. The Peyton. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. There's some Seikos that I like that were, again, very similar to this style, but they were 40s and 39s and stuff. So finding a 43 for $350, awesome. I love it. I think you would too. So anyway, I'll put links to it in the description. We'll see you cats later. Stay tuned for the one I'm about to review, because that thing is the shit. We're going to talk about that. So have a good one, everybody. Here we are from the middle of the Southern Caribbean, Dave's Man Cave.